Hello and welcome to today's practice, everybody. So in today's session, we're going to start lying down and we're going to do our Pawan series. So we're going to work through all the joints, giving them all that lovely opportunity to move through their full range. So yeah, we're going to start lying down. You need something under your head that's going to keep your head, neck and spine in alignment. So remembering that we're not going to have anything that's too big and it feels like your head or your throat's collapsing forwards, or equally a sense that your head's falling backwards. So just check that you've got the right size support under your head. You might want to have a block by your side, because we could maybe use a block to do a little bit of core work as well. And then we're going to come up into some sitting postures as well. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure that I've got my phone near me so that I can keep an eye on the time. Oh, and also a strap. When you lift your leg up in the air, when we're lying down, sometimes a strap's helpful behind your thigh. So just having something to use there. Remembering that everything we do is pain and strain free. So you're never pushing into discomfort when we're practicing. So listening into your body. So let's just come down into our semi-supine. So it's nice to come down through side lying and then roll onto your back. So we're not putting any excess strain through the front of the body. Our feet are hip width apart. Our knees are pointing up towards the ceiling. Just feeling the connection of your feet into the floor. Feeling your head relaxing into the support underneath. And just really honouring this time on your mat this morning, or whenever you might be doing this if you're following the recording. Letting go of any responsibilities, to-do lists. Just an hour of embodiment. So really allowing yourself to feel what's happening as we move different joints, feeling the muscles, the tendons, the ligaments, all working as we move. And if you'd like to, bringing an awareness to the breath as well. So just feeling the breath moving in and out of the body. So let's start with the breath. So maybe you want to bring your hands onto your belly. Your elbows are out to the side, so it's like a diamond shape now with your arms. And without forcing the breath, just seeing where the breath is moving in your body to begin with. So getting a sense of the breath breathing you. Can you feel the breath moving in and under your hands? If your hands are resting on your belly. And if you can't, just seeing if you can gently invite the breath there. So again, not forcing the breath, but just seeing if we can gently deepen. And then let's bring a little mantra into the breathing. So we're going to say to ourselves silently as we breathe in, so. And as we breathe out, hum. So as we breathe in, hum as we breathe out. So these are Sanskrit words that mean I am as we breathe in, and that as we breathe out. And if your mind wanders off, this is what minds do. So not being hard on yourself about that, just gently coming back to the breath. So as we breathe in, hum as we breathe out. Good. And on the next exhalation, letting go of that practice. And hopefully you feel a little bit more kind of settled on your mat. And let's start to bring some movement into the body now. So we can continue with the so hum mantra as we move the body. So let's straighten the right leg along the floor. We keep the right ankle at 90 degrees. We're going to say so as we inhale and bend the toes, so making a fist with the toes. And hum as we draw the toes back towards the head. So as you bend the toes, hum as you draw all the toes back on the exhalation. And if it feels like, oh, that's too many things to be thinking about, then we're just inhaling as we bend the toes and exhaling as we draw the toes back. So slowing the movement down, really feel what's happening in those joints, in the tissues at the front of the foot. Starting to release the fascia, the connective tissue that runs all over our body. Releasing stagnant energy that can get very much clogged up in the joint spaces. Good. And then release those toes. Notice how they feel in comparison to the left toes. And then we're going to bend that right leg up and straighten the left leg along the floor. Good. So the right knee's pointing to the ceiling, the left ankle's at 90 degrees. We inhale, bend or make a fist of the left toes. And then exhale, draw the toes back towards the head. Inhale to bend. Exhale to draw back. So as we bend, hum as we draw back. Good, releasing those toes, noticing how they feel. And then we're going to bend that left leg up. And we're coming back to our semi-supine. So then we're going to straighten the right leg towards the ceiling. And you might want to pop a strap in behind the back of that right thigh to support the leg. And then we're going to inhale to point the toes. Exhale, draw the toes back towards your head. So start gently. This can be quite a deep stretch for the calf muscle. Inhale to point. Exhale to draw back. So our calf muscle is known as our second heart. So it's the pump for our lymphatic system. So it's very, very important, that pumping action as we move around in our day, helping to get that lymphatic fluid back from the legs back towards the heart. So our practice can really, really help get that pump working. Adding gravity in is obviously making it that much easier as well. So it's a really nice break for the lymphatic system and all the valves and everything in our legs too. And you might want to have a go at moving that ankle a little bit quicker as your tissues warm up, but just feel into what your body is happy with this morning. And then releasing down, noticing how that leg feels in comparison to the left side. And then changing left leg up. Good. Inhale to point the toes. Exhale, drawing those toes back towards your head. Inhale to point. Exhale to draw back. Noticing if you're holding any tension in the face, so just maybe wiggling your jaw. Having a yawn if that comes, which is a really good sign that our nervous system is down regulating. You might also notice that as we move through the practice, you're salivating more. And that's, again, a really good sign that the nervous system is feeling safe to drop into your rest and digest. So obviously saliva is the first part of our digestive system. So just realizing, yeah, that's a really, really good sign. Good. Maybe you want to go a little bit faster with that pumping action. But feeling into it always. Good. Let's release that leg to the floor. How does it feel? Popping a strap to one side. Then we're going to take your right knee, hug it in towards your right armpit. And we're going to rotate the ankles, so draw circles with the toes one way. And then the other. Good. Getting into our hip as well a little bit there. And then letting that leg come back down towards the floor. And then taking the left knee to the left armpit, circle the toes one way. Ankles will be appreciating a bit of rotation. And then the other way. Good, releasing that leg to the floor. Very nice. Let's straighten, no, not straight, we're not going to straighten it. In fact, we're going to pedal with the right leg now. So pedaling, so checking in with what's happening with your spine when we do this movement. So we want to keep the spine neutral. So you're going to keep that nice little curve in the lower back. We don't want the back to be moving loads as we move the legs. So engaging your core is a good thing to do here. So drawing the belly button back towards the spine, gently pulling up on the pelvic floor. So that's like stopping ourselves pee mid-flow. And then pedaling in the opposite direction. clicking and crunching is okay as long as it's not painful. So just noticing if that's happening for you. I always get a clicky knee in reverse. Not sure what that's about. And then bringing that leg to the floor, just noticing, always taking that moment to notice the effect of the practice. And then let's go with the left leg. So pedaling forwards to begin with. The right knee stays active, pointing to the ceiling. Good. And then reverse the pedal. So here, hopefully you can feel the heart. You're going to be building a little bit of warmth in the body. Hopefully even you, Joanne, in your cold cabin, getting a little bit of warmth. Good. And then let's bring that leg to the floor. Now, if that feels challenging enough, which it is, you might want to come back to pedaling forward with the right leg. If you want to add a little bit more challenge and just noticing what's happening with your core. Okay, so you want to keep a neutral spine as we do this. And if you can't keep a neutral spine, then go back to pedaling forwards with your right leg. So we're going to pedal forwards with both legs now. So imagine you are on your bike. You might even want to close your eyes and imagine yourself cycling through your favorite landscape. Even if it was huge mountains, just imagining we are pedaling with ease. But just keeping that spine safe, using the core. And then reversing that pedal. If you're pedaling forward with one leg, now pedal forward with your left leg. Love looking at the video when people are doing this. It's like my kaleidoscope view. Really, 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 really good. Supporting your lymphatic system, your circulation, your heart, lungs. Good. Releasing the feet to the floor and keeping your feet connected to the floor. Shake your legs out now. So you're really getting that sense of shaking your muscles away from your bones. And that's going to be creating lots of lovely space between the tissues. So your tissue fluid will be flowing lovely and freely now. And also getting rid of any lactic acid that might have built up. Good. Very nice. So hopefully our legs are feeling happier, more awake, more alive right now. Let's bring the legs connected in the midline. So your feet are flat on the floor, but the legs are joined together, knees bent. The fingertips are going to come behind the ears, the elbows come to touch in front of the body. Then we're going to inhale, open the knees, open the elbows. As we inhale, exhale, close the elbows, close the knees. Just going to maybe 60% of what you know you can do, and then increasing. Just being aware if you're letting your legs kind of just drop out. Actually, what I want you to work on is being in control of the movement. So slowing movements down is how we build strength and stability around joints. So for me, a yoga practice, yes, is about flexibility, but really for me, it's about stability, balance, strength. Because getting super flexible doesn't actually help us when it comes to, the stability of joints. We want a balance of both. Good. And the next time the knees and the elbows connect, let's release the hands back by the sides and come to back into our semi-supine. Now we're going to work into the core now. We're going to have different levels of difficulty here. So level 1, we inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to straighten the leg, keeping the foot connected to the floor, and then bringing it back up, all on with the core engaged. Okay. Level 2, we could come up and bring the leg up so that the hip and knee at 90 degrees, and exhale, engage the core to lower, and then bringing it back up. And then if you wanted to add another layer, we could have both legs up, and then the arms reaching, the fingertips reaching towards the ceiling and drawing the shoulders down towards the floor. And as we exhale, we're going to tap with the left heel and bring the right arm behind. And then coming back up and then releasing the core up. So choose what level's right for you. Okay, so level 1, we inhale, and as we exhale, we straighten the leg along the floor, and then we're bringing it back up and letting your core be soft. Or we could have the legs up, and then we inhale, and as we exhale, we lower one leg with the core engaged. Good. And then we bring it back up. Good. Inhale, exhale, lower. Inhale, coming back up. Good. So as we exhale, we engage the core and move. But if you wanted to add a little bit of extra, you could have the arms in as well. Inhale, exhale, engage the core to straighten the arm behind, the heel taps the floor. Inhale, it's at the bottom of the movement. Exhale, engage the core as you come back up. Bring them back yourself back to the starting position. Good. Inhale, exhale, tap, keep the core engaged. Inhale at the bottom, the core soft. Exhale to come back up. Good. Inhale, exhale, engage the core, tap. Inhale, exhale to come back to start. Good. So we're always engaging the core as we move the body. And then when we come back to our starting position, we let the core soften. So a really nice thing to do is imagine as you breathe out, you're breathing through a straw. And as you breathe out and you're breathing through that straw, your belly button is like being almost like pinned down to the floor. You know, you're getting that sense of the belly button really drawing back to create support in the core. Good. And then releasing that off, just hugging your knees into your chest now and rocking side to side. Good. Bringing the feet back to the floor. Let's come into a little bit of pelvic tilting. So again, this is really good for the flushing of the lymphatic fluid in the belly, where we've got more lymph nodes than anywhere else in the body. So let's inhale to tilt the pelvis forwards. Exhale to round the spine into the floor. Inhale, tilt forwards. Exhale, tilt back. Good. And coming back to neutral, let's come into our bridging now. So we're going to inhale, we're going to push through the feet to lift the bottom of the floor. And then exhale, lower with control, engaging your core to come back down. Good. Inhale to lift. Exhale, engage the core to lower. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, engage to lower. So we keep some tone in the buttocks, but we don't overly clench them. We use the core as we lower down. We could lift the arms up and overhead as the bottom rises. And then exhale as we lower, and the hands can come back down by your sides. Good. Inhale, arms lift up and over. Exhale to bring the arms down by your sides. Good. Let's do one more. And releasing and just wiggling your hips out now. So just keeping the hips connected to the floor and just rocking, rocking, rocking. Good. So from here, let's just let the head roll from side to side. Massaging the back of the head. Good. And when you're ready, rolling onto one side. And you might want to double up what's under your head. Keeping the spine nice and long here. Knees are bent and stacked on top of each other. And we're going to bring the hands out at shoulder height, palms connected. And from here, we're going to take that top hand and reach it up and over. Inhale. And then exhale to bring the hands back to connect. Good. So we're opening through the front of the chest. If you have any osteoporosis or any instability in the spine, then you don't want to take the hand and twist the spine. So just bring the hand to face the point to the ceiling. But if it's safe to do so, rolling onto the upper back, so getting a little bit of a twist here as we open the arms. So we're kind of opening our whole arm span here, and then exhale to close. Good. So we're getting into the chest area now. Good. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. Good. And the next time the hands connect, we're going to come into our lovely circles, getting into the rotation of the shoulder joint. Inhale to take the hand, in a big circle around the top of the head, so almost your fingertips are brushing the floor, opening into that full wingspan, and then exhale as the hand comes back down through the lower half of the circle. So again, not coming into the twist if you have any osteoporosis or spinal instability. Good. Good. And the next time the hands connect, let's take the lower hand and add it as a little pillow under your head, and take hold of your block now. I'm going to work into a little bit of strength. So just making sure that your top shoulder, uppermost shoulder, is not collapsed forward or equally not rolling back. We want it nicely stacked on top of the lower one. So you've got nice posture here. And then we're going to take hold of the block. We're going to tuck your elbow into your side. Now, if this feels uncomfortable, you might not want to use the block. So just decide whether you want a little bit of resistance or not. So the elbow's at 90 degrees, and we're going to bring the block down towards the floor. So we kind of into some rotation of the shoulder, and then taking it back up towards the ceiling, keeping the elbow at 90 degrees and tucked into your side all the way. So keeping it nice and slow. That's how we're going to build some strength here. Good. Making sure that that top shoulder is nicely stacked. Good. So hopefully you can feel your shoulder working now. This is really particularly working the muscles in the back between the shoulder blades that can kind of get quite weak and long, overly stretched. Good. Let's do one more, but take rest if you need to. And then shaking that arm out, so just releasing any lactic acid that may be built up then. Very nice. Okay, let's put the block to one side. We can use that top arm maybe as a little bit of support as we come into the legs. All right, so we're going to do our clamshell legs. So the feet stay connected. We're going to inhale, lift the top knee towards the ceiling, and then exhale, close. So we're clamshell legs here. Inhale, top knee rises. Exhale, lower with control. Inhale, top knee rises. Exhale, lower. If you want to add a bit of extra challenge, you might want to lift the feet off the floor so they're hovering. So just see what's right for you. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. Good. Let's do one more. And then resting and then bringing that top leg straight. So now my nose and my toes are going in the same direction. We're going to inhale, lift that leg straight, and then exhale, lower with control. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Really nice. Maybe imagining we're moving through resistance. So it might be that we're kind of in water, we're on the seabed and we're just really moving the leg through water, or maybe even through treacle, slowing us down, making us really, really engage the muscles around the hips here. Good. And then stacking the legs, rubbing the top of the hips, giving yourself a nice well-end rub. Really good. Let's gently come onto our other side now. And we'll do the same on this side. And one time. Yeah. So the spine is nice and long, your head's nice and supported so that your head, neck and spine are in alignment. So just check that you've got enough support. It doesn't feel like your head's kind of falling downhill. Then the hands connect at shoulder height. Inhale to take that top hand and we reach up and over. And then exhale to bring the hands back together. Inhale, we open that full arm span. And then exhale to bring the hands back together. So we're really opening through our heart space here. Good. Let's do one more. And then let's take that top hand and we're going to do our circles now. Inhale, fingertips coming around the top of the head on the floor, and then exhale through the lower half of the circle. And maybe you might want to imagine yourself drawing a bubble of protection around yourself. It might be a colour. What colour might that be? Maybe we can imagine it like a semi-permeable membrane that allows positive energies in, but protects us from more negative influences that might be in our environment. Good. The next time the hands connect, let's bring the lower hand under the head as an extra pillow, and the top hand we can have our block. So that you might need to find your block from the other side. I realised I left mine at the other end of the mat. And then we need to tuck the top elbow into our side. So the top shoulder needs to stack nicely above the lower shoulder. The elbows at 90 degrees and tucked in, holding the block. We're going to inhale to lift the block towards the ceiling, and then exhale to lower the block towards the floor. And as we do that, we keep the elbow tucked into our sides. And if you feel like this is really challenging, then you of course don't need to use the block. Good. Let's do one more. And releasing it. Good. Popping the block to one side. That top hand might want to come and be a little bit like scaffolding in front of the body as we work into the legs now. So the feet stay connected. We're coming into our clamshell legs. So the knees are bent, the feet are connected. Either the feet stay on the floor as we inhale, take the top knee towards the ceiling, and exhale to lower the knees back together, or we could lift the feet, both feet off the floor, so they're hovering there. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. Slowly moving as we start to work into the strength around the hip. Good. The next time the knees connect, let the feet come to the floor if they were up, straightening the top leg, toes and nose in the same direction. The side of the leg now lifts towards the ceiling, and then exhale, lower with control. Inhale to lift. Good. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rising. Exhale, lowering. Good. Let's do one more, make it count. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Good. Stacking those legs and giving yourself a really well earned rub. Good. And then let's just gently come up into seated position now. So grab yourself some water as we go if you need to. Probably just me just yabbering on, maybe thirsty. Okay, so get what you need under your bottom so that your hips are higher than your knees. Really don't want to have any strain in the knees. You might want to straddle a bolster, you might want to sit on a chair. So choose what's most comfortable for you. Take your time, no rush. And we're going to have the block with us as well. So take the block with you, wherever you go. So just checking that you can feel a little curve in your lower back, which I can't. So I'm going to just double up my seat. Can you feel a curve in the lower back? That's what we want. We want that little S bend there. If you can't feel it, raise your bottom up higher. If you're going to sit in a chair, just making sure that you're a little bit away from the back of the chair so you're using your postural muscles and using your core there. Okay, so in sitting, we're going to come into a little bit of work for the neck and the shoulders. So let's just allow the head to drop down towards the chest. Inhale here. Exhale, roll the right ear to the right shoulder. Now I want you to really think about letting your shoulders relax down. Inhale there. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Inhaling. Exhale, chin to chest. Now, if you have any neck issues and this feels sore, then just miss this exercise out. Inhaling. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhaling. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Good. Inhale. Exhale, chin to chest. One more. Inhale. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale to bring the head back up, to look forwards. Good. Inhaling here. Let's take the fingertips behind the ears. We're going to inhale here. Leave this one out if you do have any spinal instability or osteoporosis. We're going to exhale, turn to one side. Inhale there. Exhale back to center. Good. Inhale, center. Exhale, turn to the other side. Good. Inhale there. Exhale back to center. Good. Inhale. Exhale, other way. Inhale. Exhale back to center. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Second side. Inhale there. Exhale, center. Releasing the hands by the sides. Good. Very nice. Inhale to lift the shoulders to the ears. Exhale to draw the shoulders down, so creating space through the tissues in the neck. Good. Inhale to lift. Exhale to draw down. Good. Inhale to lift, keeping the head looking forwards, just moving the shoulders. Exhale to draw down. Good. Inhale, lifting those shoulders. Exhale to lower. One more, inhaling, lift. And exhale, lower. So they say we carry responsibility here on our shoulders. So it's really good to stretch that out, let that go. Fingertips to the shoulders, circling the elbows forwards. Those circles can get bigger and as your tissues get warmer. Good. And then let's go the other way, circling back. Good. Really, really, really nice. Good. Releasing that off. Let's do our deep neck flexors. So let's keep the muscles between the neck strong to hold our neck in nice alignment. So the tongue comes to the roof of the mouth, fingertip to chin. Inhale. Exhale. Tuck the chin back. Holding it there, but keep breathing. So we don't do any breath holding in our practice. And then release that off. So just ensuring that the chin's not dropping forward or back, that we're purely moving backwards to create that double chin feeling. Inhale. Exhale, tucking the chin back. Good. Feeling that length in the back of the neck. Good. And release it off and nodding it out. Let's do that again. Inhale. Exhale, tuck the chin back. Good, releasing it off, nod it out. Let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale, tuck back. Hold and breathe. Releasing it off. Good. Let's take hold of the block now. I'm going to have the block between the hands. If you don't have a block, you could use a cushion. Okay, and we're going to draw the shoulders back and down. So first of all, we get that good alignment in the shoulders and the chest. The hand is almost like our hands are in prayer position and the blocks between the hands. Okay, we're going to inhale together. And as we exhale, we're going to engage the core as we gently squeeze the block between the hands, but keep breathing here. I want you to keep breathing. We don't do a breath hold as we push the hands together and then releasing it off. Good. Soften the core, soften the hands. Inhale. Exhale, gently squeeze the block as we draw the belly button back towards the spine. We pull up on the pelvic floor. Keep breathing and releasing it off. Release the squeeze of the block. Good. Let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale. Gently squeeze the block. Engage the core. Keep breathing and releasing it off. Good. So it's just good to use the core in different positions. So from here, let's do a little bit on all fours, a little bit more core work, and then we're going to come into our relaxation. So in all fours. Sorry, Pam, you're up there now. I've just realised you're on your chair. When we're doing this, we're going to be doing some straightening the legs. You can do straightening your legs in your chair. So straighten the legs and holding the leg out straight. So that's going to be really nice and strengthening for the legs. And use your core as well. So just really thinking about staying nice and tall as you straighten your legs. Are you okay with that? Right. Sorry. I wasn't thinking. So feet, knees are hip width apart. And knees are directly under the shoulder, and the knees are directly under the hips, and the hands are directly under the shoulders. Okay, and in this position, we want the back to be flat. So just notice where your pelvis is. Tilt it all the way forwards, tilt it all the way back. Come and find yourself a neutral position here. Okay, so we're going to inhale here. And as we exhale, we're drawing the belly button back towards the spine. Pulling up on the pelvic floor, holding back, keep breathing, and then release and soften. If your knees are sore, feel free to add cushions or blankets under your knees. Let's inhale together. Exhale again, engage the core. Now here you've got your yogi's choice. So either you could just reach the left hand forwards or just the right leg back, or you might feel like you want to have a go at reaching one up, the left hand forward and the right leg back at the same time. That's your bird dog. Keep the core engaged and then bringing the hands and knee back to where we started. Good. Inhale, core is soft, belly hangs low. Exhale, engage the core. And then we do the same on the other side, just the arm or just the leg or both. If you're doing both, you want to really create length through the lower back. So we're imagining someone's pulling our fingertips away from us, our toes through that diagonal, and then coming back to our starting position. The core becomes soft. So just really getting that sense of core soft, belly hangs low, core engaged, the belly draws up towards the ceiling. Good. Let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale, engage the core, either the leg, arm, or both. Good. And then release down. Good. Inhale, soft core. Exhale, reaching out. Good. And then coming back. Let's just release the wrists off. Let your wrists be soft. And then we're going to do one more. So we're going to come back to our tabletop. And if it's comfortable for you, we're going to inhale and we're going to just tuck the knee and the forehead gently towards each other. And then we're going to exhale and kick that leg back a little bit and look up. And we're going to do lion face here. So when we kick forward, we're going to stretch the tongue all the way out and open the eyes wide. Good. Inhale, tuck in. Exhale, gently kick back. Good. You don't need to see me do that anymore. It's a bit scary, isn't it? Inhale. Exhale. Good. Let's do this on the other side. So Pam, you can be doing the face. Inhale. Tuck in. Exhale. Stretch all the muscles in the face. Good. This is really good, like a bit of face yoga. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale, tucking in. Exhale, kicking back. Good. And then releasing, just rolling the wrists. And then let's just come into our relaxation posture. So you might want to lie on a bed. You might want to come into a relaxed position on the floor. So just making sure, as always, that your head, neck and spine are aligned. That maybe you've got something under your knees to support the legs and the lower back. Making sure you're going to be warm, comfy, cozy. Yeah. Sometimes a little eye pillow is really nice, just to block the light out completely. Good. And just really relax into the support that's underneath you. Feeling the body release into that support, feeling fully held. Relaxing all efforts now. You've done so well through this practice. All of the body has been given an opportunity to move, to stretch, to release. We've worked on strength. And this is the opportunity for the body to absorb the effects of the practice. Feel your body being breathed by your breath. If you have the opportunity to, I would recommend staying and taking more time in your relaxation pose. But otherwise, starting to have an awareness of the connections between your body and the floor. So where's your body making contact with the floor? Feeling that contact. Noticing for a moment what you can smell. Maybe taking a moment to swallow. What can you taste in your mouth? What can you hear? What sounds are arriving at your ears from inside of the room, from outside the room? And gently bringing some movement back into the body, wiggling the toes and the fingers. But as I say, taking more rest if that's available to you now. When you're ready, rolling onto your most comfortable side. Gently coming up into seated. And when you're there, maybe bringing your hands, if it's comfortable for you, into a prayer position in front of your heart. Bowing your head to your heart. And just really sending yourself gratitude for making the effort to get on your mat today. For this precious time to connect with your body, your breath, and maybe moments with your inner self. Namaste. Wishing you a beautiful rest of your day. Drink plenty of water. I'll see you next time.